Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I have had the stuff sitting out to do this video for a month now, and it needs to get done because we're already heading into a new month. So today I'm doing my February roundup. This is where I'm gonna sit and talk about all of the things I've tried. I tried to put all of it in here. We're gonna do it quick. It's like a speed review. I'm gonna let you know what I liked, what I didn't like, how I'm feeling about the things in my collection. It's just a way for me to circle back and update you on how I'm feeling about the products that I bought. So let's just go ahead and get into it. If you want to see the products that I loved in February, because the March video is going to be coming soon, so I got to do this. Keep on watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy, but you're trying to get right with your collection and you want to connect with someone that's doing the same thing, definitely join the community because I would love to have you back. All right, let's get started. Now right now it's before work, so I'm gonna have to like piecemeal this video together. I'm gonna do a little bit before work and a little bit after work, and hopefully we can just put it all together. I tried a lot of products in February. I'm gonna save the eyeshadow palettes for last because that's like the thing that I try to focus on the most, just to make sure I rotate them in my collection because that's what I have the most of. So I am gonna save those for last. And as I was saying in the intro, this is a way of holding myself accountable for the things that I've bought. I'm very like meticulous when it comes to this because I have a spreadsheet about the things that I've tried, what I included in my last video, and I'm looking to see like, am I still using the same things? I have a very detailed record of the eyeshadow palettes that I have now, the ones that I've acquired this year, the ones that have been gifted, and how many times I use them. And that might seem like a lot, but I feel like even though we are 3 months into the year, I have felt so much better about my collection, about what I'm using. So these roundup videos, which I started in December, are extremely important to me because I want to let you know how I'm feeling. And I also just don't want to be showing things on my channel one time and never come back to it to let you guys know what I'm thinking, because feelings can change. Like in a video of first impressions or something like that, I could be like, oh, I really love this, and then upon further use of it, I'm like, it's not so great. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm getting all my stuff here set up. This is a mess. Got two things here. All right, I'm gonna start off with a fragrance this time, and this is Tom Ford Bitter Peach. This was a gift from my great friends Yadi and Dr. Ash from Dr. Ash and Her Makeup. Bitter Peach is a scent that I'm familiar with. My first time smelling it was when my friend Al Feisty on YouTube sent me a sample, and I was in love with it ever since. I could not afford it, so I did buy the alt version, which is called Peach Smash. I don't recommend that one as a dupe for this. I think they smell similar, but Bitter Peach has something extra in it. I don't know what it is, but there's something else in there that really makes Bitter Peach a lot different from the alt version. Lost Cherry though, however, I'm letting you know, I am not repurchasing Lost Cherry because the alt version, which is called Cherry Smash. Is it Cherry Smash? It might be. It smells exactly the same to me. And I also feel like I'm going through Lost Cherry really, really fast. Whereas this one and Tobacco Vanilla, I'm not. So I love this. Actually, I need to spray it on now because I'm getting ready to go to work. And I do have to spray my clothes. Perfume kind of breaks me out. Okay. I'd recommend, especially like if you are looking for a fragrance to purchase during the Sephora sale, you're not gonna find this one more than 20% off. So I would go for it if that's something you're looking for. But I love how it smells. It's not like a Bath and Body Works peach. It's like a more mature peach. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, a more mature peach. That's what it's like. Let's talk about bronzers. I have been loving two. let's talk about the Rare Beauty Stick Bronzer. This is in the shade Happy Soul. I really like this. It's easy to apply. It's not as dark as some of the other bronzers I have. So it just depends on like what I'm looking for that day. And I kind of feel that this one has a bit of redness in it. So it just depends on, do I want like a reddy bronze? Do I want more of a neutral bronze? Like, what am I looking for? As far as the performance of it, I think it's great. I have really been getting into cream bronzers, and it's gonna sound weird, but when I do my bronzer, especially up in here, like my hairline comes down pretty low, like here and like here, these little hairs here. Sometimes when I use the powder bronzer, it makes those hairs like look white, you know what I mean? And I just don't feel like dealing with that. It's laziness, but I don't have to deal with that with the cream bronzers. It doesn't do that. I feel like it blends into my hairline really well. And that's what I'm enjoying about the cream bronzers the most. So that's what I've been going for lately. But my favorite one, y'all, like favorite, is this Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. This is medium deep, I believe. And I could have probably done light medium in this. And these things are out of stock all the time. But if you can get your hands on these and the highlighter and the blush wands, because I have this, I have Peachgasm, Pinkgasm, and then the highlighter Spotlight. They are my favorite things. It's something about the dry down of this one that makes me like it better than the Rare Beauty one. I just feel like it dries down great. You don't need a lot of product. It blends well with a brush, and it just makes me happy. I love these. I think they're totally worth the price. I have not seen a dupe for this. I know that Beauty Pie has a dupe for the Spotlight wand, but I think that's the only one they have. So, and I need to, not right now, but I did get a subscription to Beauty Pie, but I haven't done like an order yet, but I did see that on there. This is so good. I don't know what else to say. Let's talk about mascaras. There are two. I've fallen in love with the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. This is starting to dry out. I probably should just go ahead and let it go. I'm wearing it now. I think that it elongates my lashes. It doesn't clump or anything like that. And that's always a winner for me because I'm always doing my makeup kind of in a rush. So I really love this. It doesn't like flake off or anything like that. But the star mascara is this Makeup Revolution 5D Lash Pow Mascara. I saw this on an Instagram reel and Rose and Ben was using it, and I just thought it was great. Like, it's cheap. You can, I believe, find it at Target. My Target did not have it. And the way you open it is kind of strange because you have to like, it's like one of those child safety things, like you can't just turn it. So sometimes I can't get it open and then I'm like, forget it. But I love this mascara. It's got a really thick wand, and I think that the way it makes my lashes look, I love it. I just don't think you need to spend a lot for mascara, so I would probably repurchase this. No, I would repurchase this before I repurchase the Bad Gal Bang, although I really, really like this. I would repurchase this, but this is cheaper. So like, we need to save where we can. I wanna talk about two lipsticks, and then there's a couple more lipsticks from Vive that I'm gonna talk about, but I'm gonna talk about Vive as a whole. So I'm gonna talk about the other two lipsticks that I have been loving and I'm still loving today at the end of March. This one, I don't think I have talked about this, but I've definitely worn it in videos. I've definitely shared when I'm wearing it. This is the New Look lipstick by Dior. And y'all, this is shade 100. This is one of their velvet matte, and this was a special edition when they came out with the houndstooth packaging. I did purchase this because this is refillable, and I knew I was gonna wanna keep this black and white houndstooth packaging. I will get a refill once I'm done with this. I didn't think I was gonna love this as much as I do, but it is just a perfect shade. I don't wanna jump to conclusions. I might like this better than Lisa Eldridge. I've been thinking about that for some time. I love my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. They are like some of my favorites, but these Dior lipsticks I love. And this velvet matte just feels so good. It's just beautiful. I love to pair this with a deep brown lip liner. I just love how the tone of it changes. This is probably, this and like Velvet Affair. These are like my favorite lipsticks, and as well as the, and Chanel Adrian. But the one I'm about to show you, this one, I have lost it so many times because I feel like I have it in my pocket, it always falls out. It's in my pants, like, and then I put it in the hamper. It's like always around me, but I'm always losing it. And this is the Victoria Beckham, what do we call this? Posh Lipstick. This is the shade Jump, and I have the matching liner in shade 3. It's called Lip Definer. This is one of my favorite lipsticks. They are expensive, but I would repurchase this in a heartbeat. There's no smell. There's no, like, you know, with the Gucci lipsticks, you can kind of taste that flowery situation. No, it is just the perfect consistency. It's great. And you can reapply it. It doesn't get cakey. It doesn't make you get that white line. You know how, I hate that. I hate that with a passion. Oh my God. No, you don't get that with this. So I don't know. It's totally worth the money for me. Might be paying for this, like, what do you call this? Like tortoiseshell packaging. I honestly do not care. I would get this and get in a heartbeat. I need her to come on with a 20% off because that's all we get from Victoria Beckham. I'm putting it back in my pocket so I do not forget to take it to work. I was gonna say I think everything else is eyeshadow palettes, but wait a minute, not yet. I wanted to talk about some liners that I have had that I have been loving. I'm bringing them back out. I'm using them like crazy. These are my Linda Hallberg Core crayons, and I have had them forever, but I'm like a hoarder sometimes when it comes to makeup, and I just didn't use them for whatever reason, but I'm over that. I'm not like into hoarding makeup anymore. I'm gonna just show you the different ones that I have. So there's white, there's gray. The third one is light, and then there's greige, which is, no, this is black. That's black. And then greige, which is like a greige. It's like, oh my God, I can't talk. Gray beige. I love these, and I'm sure there's a brown one somewhere too, but these are just perfect everyday liners. I love all of them. They're matte and totally worth it. I am glad I brought these out. I think the most unique one is the greige, and I really love this one probably the most because it's just the most unique out of all of them. And there it is. You can see it's like a gray beige. It's definitely a shade that I don't think I have from any other brand. So not to say you need the Linda Hallberg ones because I have a lot of great eyeliners, but I have had these and I just wanted to show them some love and showcase them because they are really good. So now I'm gonna talk about Vive. I did like a haul from Vive by Jamie Genevieve, who I really do love. She's so cute. And I did buy both of her eyeshadow palettes. So let's just go ahead and talk about this. This is the Essentials palette. I think this is a great palette and I love the layout of it. I love how the mirror comes all the way back so you can kind of flip it back and forth. It's kind of convenient to hold. If you just want to hold it the regular way, that's fine. Jamie Genevieve has since changed her shimmer formula. I don't have a problem working with these shimmers because I work with difficult shimmers. I don't have a problem spraying them. I don't have a problem using a glitter glue, but I think that most people like this shimmer, which is called Glimmer. And then in her second palette, which I'll show you in a second, she formulated all her shimmers to be like this one. I don't mind using Theo or Carrot, but the star of these palettes are the mattes. I just think these are so buttery, creamy, they blend really well, and I'm really happy to have this palette in my collection, especially since I am really appreciating neutrals. It is an Essentials palette, and I think I really like it. I don't think I like it. I really like it, but depending on what kind of shimmers you want and you know how much effort you want to put into it, you might not like those shimmers, but I didn't think they were that particularly difficult to work with. I'd just say spray your brush or your finger and keep it pushing. Now the Muse palette might be more up your alley if you don't want to deal with that, because again, she did reformulate all of the shimmers to be like that light shimmer in the Essentials palette. I think this palette is also very beautiful, and if you like those mauve tones, this palette is going to do that for you and more. Again, these mattes are beautifully created. They blend, they are pigmented. There's just no issues with these palettes. Oh, I'm really curious because I think her brushes are going to be available today. Depending on how much they are, I'm going to try to get them because apparently they're only going to be available for one day, if I read that correctly, which is sad. Here's my brown Linda Hallberg crayon. I was like, I know there's a brown somewhere. Okay, also from Vive, I tried one of her Sunset blushes. This is in the shade Piazza, and I always call these like those brown blushes, but I love this shade. These are, let me see, do they have any sheen to them? Maybe just a little bit, but they're matte blushes, and she's got five or six shades. I think they're all very beautiful. I would definitely repurchase another blush from her as well. I also purchased 2 of her eye wands, and these are matte. This is the shade Mahogany, and this is just a brown. And then I also purchased the shade Raven, and I purchased that for my Indie Duochromes to give it a black base. I think these are great. They blended out. I had no problem with it, but I do think you can find something like this that you would like for cheaper. I don't know if I'm gonna get any more of these, but they work very well. Like for instance, Beauty Pie does have some of these and they're like $7 or $8. So the next time I want something like this, I'm gonna get my order from there versus getting one of these, because I think these were like 20 a piece, 20 something a piece. I think that's kind of high for these, but they are very nice and they work really nicely as an eyeshadow base. And last from Vive, I purchased 2 lipsticks and 2 lip liners. So the first 2 that I purchased, and these are from her newer colors, this is the shade Pinch, and it is a peach pink shade. I purchased that, and they always give you the corresponding liner as a recommendation, and this is the shade Peached. So that's Peached right there, and the lipstick is a little lighter than that, and there's Pinch. So I really like these. I like the combo. I really love this pencil. Is in the shade Rumor. This is one of the pencils I use the most lately. And I actually love putting it with that Dior lipstick. And then I have the shade Coming In Hot that I hoped, however you say it. It's right there. I don't think this is my favorite matte lipstick formula because I do feel like it's a little bit drier and I feel like it looks drier on my lips, but it's not a bad formula at all. But if I had to pick between like Lisa Eldridge and like the Dior's and then these will come in like in 3rd place because like I said, I feel like they look a little bit drier, but not dry enough that I'm not gonna wear them. So all in all for Vive, I'm glad I tried the brand. I look forward to whatever else they decide to come out with. I'm really excited to see about these brushes today. I think there's gonna be like some special way to find it. Once again, I'm at work, so we'll see if I'll be able to get the details about that, and I will keep you updated. I'm about to take a quick pause on this video for me because I'm gonna go to work and then I'm gonna come back after work and finish talking about the rest of the eyeshadow palettes that I tried. And remember, some are gonna be new, many of them are gonna be old, and I'll let you know how I'm feeling about those. So let's get to that now. All right, y'all, I'm back from work. I hope my makeup still looks good. I'm excited. Fix my hair a little bit, but yeah. What, like 8 hours later, I guess this is. I am ready to talk about all of the eyeshadow palettes, and I'm gonna try to do it before the boys get home. So listen, it's 4:30 p.m. I wanna try to get this done by 5, edit this part of the video and have it up by my normal 7:30 time. So let's dive in. So I ended this morning with talking about all the things I purchased from Vive, and I went on the site today to see if I could get the brushes. First of all, those brushes are $330. So I'm rethinking that. She does have a bundle where you can get like 2 eye brushes, 2 face brushes, and some type of spoolie situation, but I don't know. I think you can get a link to access the brushes a day before or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. So I just wanted to share that. Getting into these, let me tell y'all one other thing really quick, because I am not gonna have this up. That Give Me Glow 2 Moods palette is gonna be available on Friday, April 1st. You know, my next Will I Buy It or Purchase or Pass video is not gonna be up until the 2nd. So if you're watching this and you usually watch my purchase or passes, hopefully, you know, you are happy to hear that, because I was wanting to know what was going to happen to that palette, like what's the release. Okay, eyeshadow palettes for February. There's a lot, so I'm going to roll through these. I'm going to be quick. Starting with the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette in Dark. I love this thing. I love this thing. I cannot tell you how much I do. I love the shimmers. I love the blush. I love the hoi loi. It is just an all-around great palette. Just something to throw in your bag. I'm loving this outer corner shade. I mean, I'm loving it all. I may have said this before, but I do enjoy this one more than the light palette, because you can be light with this, whereas the light palette, you can't really make deep. However, for March, I'll have the light palette in that one, because I did wear that to a gathering with my friends. But the deep palette or dark palette is great. Just a great thing to have, you know, if you just like neutral looks and you need something quick and you don't want a whole bunch of rigmarole with what you're gonna do, this is it. Orange Sorbet. This is my top Sweet Shops palette. Still am in love with the Sweet Shops. I did visit Marshall's yesterday, did not see any Sweet Shops in my Marshall's, so I'm in Baltimore, so I don't know what's up with that, but this is still one to get your hands on. If you love orange eyeshadows, this one is just such a beauty. It has every shade. You can go light, you can go deep, and if you like monochromatic looks, this is definitely going to be the palette for you. Can't wait to see what BH Cosmetics is going to do under the Makeup Revolution brand. Hope they will have creative freedom to create more things like that. Here we have the Nars C Palette, because I'm not doing that. This is a beautiful palette. I absolutely love this one. Don't know if it's still available or not. Every single shade in this palette is usable for me. The shimmers, they shim. The mattes, they matte. And this is the second Nars eyeshadow palette that I tried. I had like this mini orgasm one that came out in 2020. It was pink, it was super tiny. And I really didn't know what I was doing with eyeshadow at that time. So I don't know. So I'm just going off of this as my real impression of Nars eyeshadows. I'm not into that new palette that they came out with. I feel like there's just not a variety of looks there, but I do enjoy the Climax C palette. For some reason, I have this Nars Afterglow blush palette. I feel like I've talked about this. Listen, this is all you need for blush, period. Point blank, period. If you are looking at this, it's definitely worth it for the Sephora sale if you're interested. You have mattes, you have shimmery blushes. They're all just so beautiful. So I'm just throwing that in there. Natasha Denona Mini Crush. This was something that my sister gave me for my birthday. I was not going to purchase this palette, and I would not purchase this palette. But with that being said, it is a nice palette if you like pink looks. It's definitely an extension of the Love palette, but it's not a necessity in my collection. Now, if you wanted to get this on sale for 20 bucks, hey, get it on sale for 20 bucks. It came with a little brush. It's great Natasha Denona quality. Like, I can't say anything bad about it. I just wish she would stop riding the Love collection, because it's just stop. We can do better. This, okay, sleeping on this palette for like 2 years now. I think cool tones just didn't really attract me. So this Sultry palette, even though I scoured the earth to try to find it because it wasn't available for a while, once I really used it, I was like, no, I can get with this, because even though it's cool, you've got a couple kind of warmy shades, and this Bloom shade is gorgeous. This is just a gorgeous palette. Super great quality. I enjoyed the look that I created with this palette, and I definitely would put this in, like, if I had to do something about like top 10 neutral palettes or favorite neutral palettes, definitely this would be one. Let me go into another Sweet Shops. I should have organized these by brand, but I didn't. I did use the Cotton Candy palette in, no I didn't. Yes I did, for $22.22. Yes I did. This is, all the Sweet Shops are great quality. So even though I'm like sounding iffy about it, I would not give this palette up, and I would repurchase it. But I think this has moved to the bottom of my favorites for the Sweet Shops. I don't know why. I think maybe these pinks are just too pinky and the purples are too purpley. That's not a great description. I don't know if that makes sense. There's just a certain pink and purple that I like, and these aren't really it. But with that being said, amazing quality in this palette, no complaints. Don't try to take it from me. You're not getting it. Well, depends. I am gonna keep my pat palettes together, so let's talk about the 3 that I used. Because I talked about Bronze Borealis last month. So I'm gonna talk about the 3 motherships that I used in February. Let's go ahead and talk first about the Heatopian Scheme. It's funny because I watched a video with my friend I Am Jammy, and she was talking about how if this palette just came out on its own and she had not released like all these other pink palettes, this palette could stand on its own and be a beautiful palette. And it does stand on its own, and it is a beautiful palette. So I know I sound really hypocritical right now. It is so gorgeous. It is so beautiful. I'm just tired of seeing this. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. We tired, okay? I need something else. And she still won't give it to us. She still won't give it to us, but we still keep buying, which is why she still keeps giving it. So I really can't complain. Best packaging, deceiving, the rainbow. But, you know, I do collect the motherships, so I'm not gonna be mad about that. Pulled out Decadence as well. Decadence, all shimmers, beautiful shimmers, shimmers that work like mattes. This will continue to be one of my favorites. I do think I need to re-rank my motherships, but I'm gonna wait until the 10 comes out because I'm just having some different thoughts about them. And that reminds me, I think I forgot to pull one out that I used. So Decadence created a beautiful look with that in my Pat McGrath palette rotation. Oh my gosh, and Subversive, honey, okay. I had moved Subversive from #1 to #3, and it might be back up to #1. Decadence has always been second, but Decadence might be moving down because I still really like Midnight Sun. So Subversive is just, I mean, this is what made me love Pat McGrath. Seeing something like this that was so unique, so creative, such just a grungy, deep, like night creature color story. I need more from this. I am waiting. The day will come. It just might be far away though. I am so happy to have this, and I just want you guys to know I'm gonna be working on some Pat McGrath mothership videos because one thing I noticed, I have a mothership video for Divine Rose 2 and Divine Rose 1. But not necessarily a review. That's when I was still doing a lot of like music videos, like and not talking. So I think I really do need to do a mothership video. And with this glitch sale happening, a lot of us have got our little grimy hands on these motherships for way cheaper than what I got mine for. But I think it would be great to start doing 3 looks with 1 palette. And one of my subbies suggested that I do that, and I'm gonna do it. So just be on the lookout for that. And last but not least for my motherships, I did use Sublime in my palette rotation video. I believe that palette rotation video was in February. I checked all this stuff out and wrote it down, but who knows? If not, let's just talk about it. Sublime is the mothership 2. I think this is a really slept on mothership. It has one of my favorite, what do you call them? Blitz shades, which is Blitz Emerald, and it's like this green to purple flip. I think it's a great one. And then other than that, aside from that, you definitely have a regular neutral palette, and I want to say that some of these shades are in other palettes, like of course Extreme Black, but I want to say Rose Dusk. I think it's just Rose Dusk. I think that's in Divine Rose, but anyway, a great Pat McGrath palette. I don't regret any of my motherships, so it always does make me happy to pull out these because, you know, I really don't even go for like Divine Rose, although I really like Divine Rose a lot. I think I'm just turned off from pink, so it makes me really excited to go back and visit the motherships that have the other color stories because it just lets me know, like, you have it in you, mama. Just bring it back and give it to us. I don't know who these people are on your team. I can help. So unfortunate. All right, I did use a Tom Ford quad. This one is newer to me. This is metallic denim. And I remember my friend Heavy on the Chai was like, yes, this is like, she was like, this is you. Like this one, if you're gonna get one, this is you. Maybe I got this during VIB last time because I know I didn't pay $89 for it, I can tell you that. This one was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I use all 4 shades. They're all shimmers. You know, I don't really like blue that much, but this kind of gray blue situation is exactly what I need in my life. And I just thought that I created a really great look with this palette. The formula is great. Yeah, it's just the cost. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's trying to pay $90 for 4 shades. Not me. And I still paid a lot for it, truth be told. All right, last but not least, we have, I think this is it, y'all. The melt palettes I tried in February. Yes. I am certain I talked about Gemini in my last video, but given the relevance, let's go ahead and revisit it again. I mean, part of me was like, do I need a new one? Now, Lord knows I'm not getting a new one because I just bought this one. This one isn't even a year old, but this is just the classic melt formula that I think everyone fell in love with. And the shimmers, again, are not the most shimmiest, but they're good. They're the good melt shimmers. I am hoping that Gemini 2 is going to be just as pleasing because it's definitely pleasing to the eye. I love those reds and pinks and then those grungy shades on the right end. That is the melt that I cherish. That's what I fell in love with. I need people to just stick with what we love. We don't want different. We don't want new. We don't want round pants. I mean, I don't want round pants. Just saying. Brunette, no, this is a no. Okay, I definitely, so first of all, on the Melt website, they're selling these 2 for $80. At least I know ahead of time. But see, I'm gonna get mine Gemini 2 from VIB. So even though it's like you're getting 40 per palette, I don't need another one of these. So, you know, it's still a waste of money when you don't need something. I learned that from Makeup Craze. So, you know, I'm gonna keep my old Gemini. I'm gonna get the new one, 20% off. I'm hoping I can pick it up from the store or find a store around here that has it. Brunette is not something I would repurchase at all. I had to, you know what I really like? Brunette had me with these 4 shades right here. These 4 are bomb, like they are, but they're not, actually the shimmers are nice. They're not crumbly, but these 4 were great. They could have made this a 6 pan and just stopped here, but y'all know I had to replace it with my Gimme Glow purples here. I think I have a video on that I'll link, because every time I showed my little revamped palettes, people, look at this. Come on, Gimme Glow. Come on. People are always like, can you show us how we did that? I've only done one video like that, but it was with a bunch of palettes, I want to say, I think. Anyway, love the brown and the purple together. And so I've made this palette into something I want, but you know, and see, if I didn't have to customize my palette, I was like, why isn't it closing right? I would not have this situation that I have right now. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, my. See, and this is why repressing mattes is a no, y'all. It is a no. Look at that. If this is a prime reason why you don't need brunette, because you're gonna have to do something like this to be satisfied. And now what? Now what do I have? I have nothing. I don't even have anything witty to say. I'm speechless. Well, what I'm gonna do after this video is over, I'm going to, damn it, because I really like that purple shimmer. The purple matte. See, repressing mattes is not the thing. That's not the thing to do. I took a risk with that. I'm gonna see if I have another purple shimmer that I can use, because this is no more. Nope. All right, well, at least most of it stayed in the pan. So let me put this aside here. Damn the man. Don't buy that palette. Let's move on to something more pleasant. 27. I got this on Beauty Bay towards the end of last year. Love this one, still love it. Doesn't it remind you of a crisp fall day? That's what this palette is, a crisp fall day. I love it, I continue to love it. Did I not use? I feel like I'm certain, oh, you know what, I put rust. We'll save rust for next month, because I talk about rust too much. I talk about rust all the time. And I used it for March, so it'll be in the March faves. Don't get me started. But this was a pleasant surprise. Just some kind of unique browns in here, especially this one. One more thing. I love this palette. Like I said, a crisp fall day, but I would use it on any day. Probably one of my top 10 favorite neutral palettes as well. And it just gives you a lot of vibrancy in this one. We have 2 more melt palettes to talk about. Let's talk about Millennial Stinks. because a lot of people didn't like it. I like it though. The shimmers, you know, this went down to $25 at one point. So if you love this color story the way I love it, get it for $25. It's $40. $40. Yes, it is $40 right now at Sephora, or get it with the 20% off if you're interested. I think the mattes are great. I just have had no problems with the melt mattes. It's the shimmers, you know what I mean? It is, but some of these mattes are great. Like you got the gray, the black, the pink. Definitely a great color story. I mean, let me know if y'all seen another color story that's like millennial pinks. This is pretty. I did dupe this. I duped this palette, made a video, and still went and bought it. That's me being a clown. Again, I definitely wouldn't pay $58 for it, but if it's something that you like, find it on sale. Apparently, you know, everything's going on sale, so they can't sell out of it apparently. And last but not least, folks, we're gonna end off with a good one by Melt. Not that the other ones are horrible, but, and they're not by any means. I'm just still mad about Brunette. She's in Parties. She's in Parties is great. I think this is one of their better formulas. I feel like, oh, actually, this one's not bad. I was gonna say the lighter Melt goes. Sometimes what I was gonna say was the lighter they go, sometimes the more crumblier the shades, but that is not necessarily true because this one, can't really see it, but this one's really smooth. This one too. This one's a good palette. If you are thinking about this one, I would recommend She's in Parties. I like how you can go light purple and then you can go vampy purple. You know what I mean? It is just a really nice one, unlike Brunette. So that's it for my roundup. I'm gonna try to edit this and figure out what I'm gonna do with my Brunette palette. It's like a failed, what do you call it? Reconstruction. Now, I will say this. I did that, when did I do that? It was a while ago. I must have just been real rough with it just now, but if you're gonna repress shadows, don't repress the mattes. It is just too much. It's just not practical in my mind. It lasted a little while, but now I gotta figure out something else to do. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed seeing what I tried in the month of February, although it was a bit late. I did wanna let you guys know and keep you updated on how I'm feeling about everything. And my March one will not be as late because I already got my basket going there. And I'm gonna be working on that as well very soon. I'm also gonna be working on going through my wish list in my Sephora cart so y'all can see all the foolery I have in my wish list. It's a wish list or my loves list. It's not even a wish list. We're gonna take some things out. Maybe we need to add some more things. So yeah, we're gonna do that really soon. We're gonna do it before the sale. And that's it, y'all. So thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me. I have finished in record time. I got 10 minutes before the boys come home. So I'm gonna start editing and pop this up. I hope this was therapy for you because it always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Talk to yourself nice. That was just, I'll see y'all in a